All words are but the Dharma of the Buddha. If one can be without what is said, to the utmost being spoken, the worldly ways, if there can be what is stated, thus all day falls, and not the way, hence, the Tathagata says silence and does not speak, without this rocky ink, one connects with the three. If considered in support, researching liberation, if one does not know and is not, one also returns to the world. Thus, they say if one departs, mutual language elucidates, be liberated from the end, if seeking appearances, it is merely a play. The text and its essence is liberation. Words cannot save. Originally, letters exist to save words. Law has no high or low. If one sees the high and low, non-law also. The law is unenforced. The law of liberation is for those who embody the law, those who follow the way of humanity. Thus, virtue based on non-law is also law. All speech is the Dharma of the Buddha. If one can speak without assistance from the heart, thus, speaking throughout the day is in accordance with the way of heaven. If the mind has delusions, even if one remains silent all day, they are not on the path. Thus the Buddha teaches that words should not be overly careful in silence. Silence is also important. One should also be cautious with language. Language does not depart from silence. Those who understand the language and the quietly terminating are all in a calm state. Those who realize the way speak words of liberation. For those who seek the way, even silence is a stepfather. Thus, if language departs from its subject, it is liberation, silence. If one finds silence, it is like a play for a father. The essence of texts is to assist people in liberation. Words cannot record wealth, for wealth comes from the heart and not the words. All phenomena have no grades of superiority. If one sees higher or lower, then it is not the correct method. If one takes the incorrect method as a means of transmission, using the transmission of Dharma to attain liberation. Thus, non-law is simply right law. If it is a worldly saying, then there are distinctions of male and female. In terms of the way, there are no distinctions of male and female. Matters of the celestial maiden realizing the way do not change. Women driving a vehicle against the flow is called this. It is not about gender, as they are all of one nature. The celestial maiden seeking a daughter cannot obtain it in 12 years, and what remains? In 12 years, male figures cannot obtain. Those of 12 years. Lucky 12 enters view. In ancient folk terms, there are various distinctions. Differentiation through the path states there is no disparity of male and female, noble and base, etc. Thus, after the celestial maiden attained enlightenment, she remains unchanged in female appearance, and after reversing the path, there is no need to change the evaluations of lineage. Awakening has nothing to do with male and female distinctions. These distinctions are essentially the same. The essence is all the same. The celestial maiden seeks to escape her female form in 12 years without success. Thus, knowing that the 12 years old male forms also cannot be obtained. 12 years is like 12 routes of the inner 6 and the outer 6, forming a mind without the Buddha. Being away from Buddha signifies a lack of heart, like being without weapon the water. Just as moving away from weapons means being without water. Flowery speech is about the mind, flying is to depart from the heart. But if one does not grasp at stars, one cannot see whales or elephants. Named as seeing the Buddha. This is the departure from the heart's appearance. Without the heart for Buddha means the Buddha emerges from the heart, and the heart can give birth to the Buddha. Yet the Buddha arises from the heart, and the heart constantly dwells in the Buddha. Just as fish are in water, and water does not arise from fish, wishing to be involved. Seeing the water before it is seen. Jade viewing should be based on seeing the Buddha to establish interest. Gathering to see fish relies on water. As for those who see the Buddha, forget in their hearts. If they do not forget in their hearts, they are confused by their hearts. If one does not forget on water and is lost by it, leaving the self, there is no Buddha. Leaving the Buddha, there is no mind. Just like how there is no ice without water, and no water without ice. The so-called departure from the heart does not mean being far from the heart, but it refers not to the heart and appearance. Classics say not seeing forms is called seeing the Buddha. This is the departure from the mind's alley. Without Buddha's mind, one points to Buddha. From the heart can generate the Buddha. The Buddha wanders, arising from the heart. Yet the heart is not born from the Buddha. It seems to be born from water. However, water is not born from it. One must view fish, and if one has not seen fish, one sees water first. Wanting to see the Buddha but have not yet seen him. Only see the heart first. Since seeing fish, then forget the existence of water. Those who have seen the Buddha forget about the new existence. If one does not forget in the heart, then, tempted by the heart. If one does not forget about water, one is confused by water. Sentient beings and Bodhi are just like ice and water, burned by the 3 poisons. Hence it is called sentient beings, for the 3 liberations are exhausted, thus named Bodhi, as the 3 eastern aspects are illuminated and called ice. For the lesser 3 groups, this is named water. If one abandons, there is certainly no other water. If one breathes out, sentient beings are no different from knowing the essence of water. The essence of water is also the nature of ice. Thus is Bodhi nature. Sentient beings and Bodhi share the same essence, just like the crow's head and father and son share the same root, but the times are different. The flavor of rice binds sentient beings and Bodhi in 2 names. As if a snake transforms into a dragon, not changing its nature, the ordinary turns into the superb, not changing its appearance. But know that the one who understands the heart is connected to the realm outside of ordinary beings and enlightenment, like the concept of ice and water, which are affected by greed and anger, and thus are referred to as ordinary beings, evolved by the emptiness without intention. It is called Bodhi. When frozen by the winter, it is called ice. Melted by summer, it is called water. If one abandons ice, there is no water. If one abandons sentient beings, and there is no enlightenment. Well known to all, military faith is the essence of water. The nature of water is the nature of ice. The nature of sentient beings is the nature of Bodhi. Sentient beings and Bodhi share one essence, as does the bird's head and father and son, both having the same root. Differences arise from varying times. Humans also differentiated due to confusion. Only then do sentient beings and Bodhi become two. So, the snake transforms into a dragon without changing its scales, transforming people into sages, not changing its face. But the sage knows that the inner self is illuminated by wisdom and the outer self is constrained by precepts. Respecting the profound Buddha and the Buddha liberating sentient beings is equality. Sentient beings liberating the Buddha involves misunderstanding, and the Buddha liberating sentient beings involves misunderstanding and extinguishing afflictions. Explaining that it is not affliction. There is no birth, misunderstanding leads to ignorance, and without misunderstanding, there is no extinguishing of troubles. If the 10 Buddhas cross sentient beings when it's not time, sentient beings say Buddhas. Why is it that the Buddha does not establish himself? All are crossed by sentient beings. Thus, truly understanding that sentient beings enable Buddhas to cross sentient beings is called equality. Sentient beings saving Buddhas points to deep misunderstandings. Buddha liberating sentient beings refers to misunderstandings extinguishing the mind. Thus, it is known that there are troubles. It's not that there is no misunderstanding. There are no afflictions. Cannot give birth to misunderstandings. Without misunderstandings, one cannot extinguish troubles. If confused, then the Buddha saves sentient beings. If one awakens, all sentient beings cross Buddhas. Why is that? The Buddha is not self-made, but rather, it emerges from deepened senses. All Buddhas regard the nameless as father and discussions as mother. Ignorance and greed reveal sentient beings, also known as sentient beings and ignorance, such as the left hand and the right hand. Moreover, lost in this case, indeed there's a shore, if knowing the stars are unseen. Will then leave the fog of confusion. Having left the fog of confusion, there is also no other shore. Tathagata is not in this case, nor are they on the other shore, not in the current flow. Those in the middle flow are of lesser cities. The case discussed refers to ordinary individuals. The other shore, also the enlightenment. All Buddhas take ignorance as their father. Talking about love is the aim. Ignorance and craving. They are all nicknames for sentient beings. Sentient beings and ignorance are like the left hand and right hand without any other difference. During confusion, at this case, at the time of enlightenment, on the other shore. If the stars are invisible, then leave the distinctions formed by the mist. Since having left the fog of confusion, distinguishing has no other shore. The Buddha is not in this case, nor are they on the other shore. It is also not in the middle. The middle refers to small cultured individuals. This case refers to the ordinary person on the other shore, referring to enlightenment and liberation. Buddha has 3 natures: transformation body, reward body, and law body. Transformation into myriad forms is like clouds and sounds. If many bodies often perform good deeds, transformation into forms manifests wisdom, fruits manifest the body without danger to the Dharmakaya. Long lines fly freely in 10 directions, saving reporters at will. Is it the transformed Buddha? If one cuts off worldly attachments, this refers to the Buddha's form manifesting as the snow mountain, without speaking, without saying, without doing, without virtue. Thus, constantly abiding in the Dharmakaya of the Buddha. The Buddha has 3 bodies. The transformation body, reward body, law body, and transformation body are also called the shadow transformation. If sentient beings often perform good deeds, the Buddha's transformation essence cultivates wisdom. The reward body realizes the non-doing is the Dharma body, often soaring to various places to provide aid as needed. This is the transformation body Buddha cutting off confusion. Like the snowy mountain city, the path is that of the reward body Buddha. No words, no talking, without doing, without virtue, battling. Yet, the eternal is the Dharma body. If discussing governance, how can one Buddha exist alone? This refers to the 3 natures, yet possesses human wisdom. People can be categorized as upper, middle, and lower levels. The lower level is treated, if hoping for welfare yet forgetting to see the transformation body Buddha among those aspiring, forgetting the cutting of afflictions, seeing the Buddha of transformation, those with aspirations, aspiring for true enlightenment, seeing the Buddha of Dharma up on high, those hindered by inner obstacles have extreme clarity of mind and the Buddha, not waiting for the heart to attain. The wisdom of the Buddha's 3 births and all phenomena is unattainable. One cannot say this gathering liberates the enlightened heart, becoming fish on the great path. The Gold Cloud Sutra does not save sentient beings. Not yet certified for enlightenment means there is no Buddha in any theory of higher crime. How can there be 3 Buddha bodies? The so-called 3 natures are determined by the level of wisdom in people. There is wisdom of varying levels. Those at the lowest level blindly forget to seek blessings. If one aspires to see the transformation body Buddha, delusions are cut off and troubles are cleared. To see the reward body Buddha, those who aspire to it misinterpret enlightenment and mistakenly see the law body Buddha, with greatly clear knowing and understanding of the truth of Buddha. there is no need to make an effort to attain the way of Buddha wisdom. The three births and all phenomena are unattainable, indescribable. This is the liberated heart achieving the great way. The scripture. The Buddha's teachings do not liberate sentient beings, not realizing enlightenment. This is what it means. Sentient beings create karma. Those who do not create karma will bear the consequences in the next life without delay, only leading people to this sound and not creating various karmas. Therefore, there is no retribution for golden clouds, and the nights are not restless, naturally attaining the way. It should be stated that people can create karma, and yet cannot create everyone. If everyone creates karma, all will be born together. If one does not create karma, and with people it shall perish. At that night, human-crafted kindness plays in the night. If people do not create karma, immediate actions have no way to give rise to life. Sentient beings create karma. Those who do not create karma, today's sentient beings create karma. In the future, they receive retribution without liberation times. Only the highest among them do not create leaves in the sound. Therefore, there is no retribution. The scriptures say, all nights are not agitated, naturally attaining the way. Is it to reveal empty words? People can create karma but also do not create people. If people create karma, karma then follows the great generation of humans. If one does not create karma, the karmic force diminishes with human gathering. Thus, it is known that night travelers create as humans wander in the night city. If one does not create karma, urgent karma creates no route for sentient beings. Like a person, can glow yet cannot illuminate others. Exquisite and often prosperous people create karma and say there's no retribution. Is this not suffering? If regarded as a minimum, then the prior heart is anxious. If one's mind is not agitated, and later, free from revenge, one can hope to see night. It is also like how a person can become red but not be visible. Today's sentient beings often create karma and falsely claim there is no retribution. Isn't this retribution even more painful? If one thinks to have little karma yet still harbors thoughts and intentions, when will one be liberated from the ensuing karmic retribution? If the prior mind does not act, thus the later mind is without night retribution. Where could one forget the karmic retribution? Even though born in the gold clouds, one suffers from the words of the Buddha's ascetic actions and people's wrongful views. Though believing in the Buddha, playing Buddha has golden spheres. The report of horse trading is clearly implied, and it is a public expression. Understanding the meaning of the law is called the sage. Understanding ordinary laws is called the ordinary person. But if one can give up mundane laws, then sacred laws arise, and ordinary people can become saints. In this world among people, only wishing to distance seek saints, misfortunes will resolve. The mind refers to the sage as well. Classic state. Though believing in the Buddha. But the idea that Buddhahood must be attained through ascetic practice is incorrect. Even though believing in the Buddha, only those who believe becoming a Buddha involves being shot by missiles or being sold as horses have insufficient faith. They lack good roots. Understanding houses holy laws is called a sage. Realizing reverse laws is called an ordinary person. Those who can abandon returning to the Dharma and achieve the sacred Dharma will become saints from their ordinary state. In this world, the foolish pursue the sacred externally. Not believing that one inherently has the wisdom to understand is already that of a sage. No one among the wise people in gold and cloud speaks of this sutra. Clouds and stars are also phenomena without aspiring individuals. Unfortunately, this heart forming laws leads to the remaining saints, but I desire to seek learning far beyond, adoring the radiant images of the Buddha in the sky and other matters. Revealing delusional views leads to chaotic hearts. Gold clouds, if seen, would fly in diverse forms. Upon seeing the Tathagata, the 84,000 paths arise from a single star. If the new township's inner realm is like a void, one must urgently leave the body. In the heart, there are 84,000 afflictions as the root of ailment. Classic state. Those without wisdom should not be explained. It is not precise as classic state that the star is the myriad dharmas. Those without wisdom, not believing in one's own heart, can resolve matters. All dharmas become sages. Only wish to search outward results in failure. Learning to cherish the Buddha's images emits light, and phenomena hinder. Creating incorrect, losing sanity and becoming chaotic. Classic state. If seeing various images flying, thus seeing the Tathagata. All 84,000 paths arise from a single star. If the new township internally progresses, it is like a void. Squeeze out the root of 84,000 troubles and ailments from within the mind and body. Ordinary beings, during their lives, preserve longevity. Those with resentment clearly face great disasters. Thus the sage does not seek his money or worry. In the end, there is no attachment. This year, I contemplate returning to the path. If one has not yet awakened, this principle is urgently needed for seeking the good of human and heavenly realms. Do not let two lose. Sentient beings, ordinary people alive, rescuing. These are called great confusions. Hence, the sage does not reminisce about the past, is not troubled by future matters, and does not cling to the present. Every thought aligns with the way of heaven. If for understanding this important principle, one should immediately perform good deeds and accumulate, seek for the goodness of birth in heaven and earth, to avoid an utter lack of qualifications to reincarnate in the human or heavenly realms. Sitting at night, remembering clouds, one string serves as a joint, overlapping, miraculous children need conditions, sections arise from non-birth and non-death. What need is there for birth and death without worry? All dharmas are as illusions. The true nature is originally empty and allows for applicability. If it is a new nature, it's not like a battle that does not move. It is indeed suchness. In the second watch of the night, calm the spirit and turn towards tranquility. Do not invoke illegitimate thoughts, align with true faith. All phenomena ultimately return to emptiness. Is it only emptiness or is it an illness? The writing itself is neither empty nor ordinary people. If one can remember, who reaches the extremely abundant is not the winner. 3 roots, hearts tranquil, equate with emptiness. When unable to communicate with the mountains and rivers, one cannot ascend and traverse the sandy world. The true nature of the world is suchness, which is also non-nature. It is indeed not cold, but rather flourishing. But various Buddhas hold similar affinities. And they all share the same 5 roots without extinction. There is also no sound. Measurement and the realm of emptiness are evaluated. Absence of interest, without coming or going. Neither extraordinary nor darkness and maiming. Not arising, the ruby sword of Tathagata sees. The unnamed can elucidate the true Buddha's name. Only the material world should be able to serve. For gathering sentient beings, especially. The 5 roots class, if illuminated, are boundless, not rising even one thought. 3000. Encountering the true suchness of equality. The holy objects of body and mind are also current. Handling the mysterious and is not a new volume. There is no need to follow sequences for mentioning. If one can be without thought and seek. Moreover, if there are demands, is it not so?